Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, today I rise in support of House Bill 4142, my office's cannabis in hospice and end-of-life care. First, I want to thank our persistent advocate, Anthony Taylor, and my Chief of Staff, Marie Bäckström, who have been working on this bill tirelessly for several years. I'd also like to recognize Jim Bartell, who is the father of a young man named Ryan from California who passed away after a long-fought battle with cancer, and after whom Ryan's Law is named in California and hopefully after today in Oregon. Senate Bill 844 in 2015 allowed Oregon medical marijuana program patients to designate a hospice, palliative care provider, home health agency, or residential facility as a facility or organizational caregiver. Following that legislation, the Oregon Health Authority created an organizational or facility caregiver attestation process. That process requires the facility to attest that it has significant responsibility for managing the well-being of the patient. The facility must designate a responsible individual, and that individual must affirm that they have the authority to consent to serve as an OMMP caregiver. However, despite this being in statute for over a decade, utilization has been almost non-existent. As of January 2025, OMMP statistics show only one organizational caregiver designation serving 8 patients. In January 2023, there was only one serving 3 patients. This gap in care for OMMP patients in the end-of-life care shows that while the framework exists, participation has struggled due to a lack of clarity, structure, and training for facilities and professionals to implement procedures. Ryan's Law addresses this gap for patients enrolled in the Oregon Medical Marijuana Program by reaffirming a patient's right at the end of their life to choose cannabis as a continued part of their care. House Bill 4142 requires hospice organizations and residential facilities designated under current Oregon statute to adopt a written policy regarding the medical use of cannabis and provide educational training for direct care staff who are designated as OMMP caregivers. This bill is an important tool to facilitate cannabis use as an alternative or addition to opioid use in end-of-life care. While sometimes necessary, opioids are often overly sedative, preventing quality family time interactions in a person's final days. As someone who lost my mother while she was intubated, I know how meaningful it is for patients to be present and in the moment for their last days and weeks with their loved ones. This is a quality of life and quality of care issue. The bill's goal is to ensure patients who desire this important and valid medical treatment have access to it across the board. Put simply, House Bill 4142 creates guardrails and training to ensure that when a patient makes this deeply personal medical decision, hospice facilities and their staff know how to respond safely and professionally. Oregon has long been a leader in patient autonomy and end-of-life dignity. This bill is consistent with that legacy, with Ryan's legacy, and importantly ensures that patients enrolled in the OMMP can exercise the rights already granted to them under Oregon law. I urge your aye vote for House Bill 4142. Thank you.